Rookie Hawa Brakatha, Yehosha, Rookie Hawa Brakatha, Yehosha, Ba Hashem, Rakakwadash, the honors to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching and truth and sincerity. Lesson will be entitled Millennials Are Losing Their Cars. Lord will, you are edified. Okay. This article came from Newsbreak, and for the term millennial, according to Wikipedia, also known as Generation Y, are the demographic cohort following Generation X and preceding Generation Z. Researchers and popular media use the early 80s as starting birth years and the mid-90s to early 2000s as ending birth years, with the generation typically being defined as people born from 81 to 96. Most millennials are the children of baby boomers and older Generation X. In turn, millennials are often the parents of Generation Alpha. Millennials are increasingly seeing their cars face repossession, with calls to attorneys regarding the topic reaching levels not seen since the fill in the blank. Amid economic pressures from sticky inflation, increasing layoff announcements, and escalating living costs, the millennial demographic is particularly vulnerable. Financial distress signals are loud and clear as individuals struggle to navigate the challenges posed by an economy that's squeezing their wallets and threatening their mobility. According to Legal Shield's January Consumer Stress Legal Index issued Tuesday, consumer finance inquiries generally decreased over the month, but there has been an increase in calls regarding car repossessions and billing disputes, particularly among Generation X and millennials. The number of calls received by Legal Shield provider attorneys regarding repossessions reached its highest mark since 2021, when most of the U.S. was still under fill in the blank, with Generation Xers and millennials making more than double the number of calls than they did in January of the previous year. Billing disputes surged year on year among Generation X and millennials, Legal Shield said, who have experienced a 96% increase in billing inquiries. Calls are up across the board as well, with a 53% increase among all Legal Shield members, indicating a broader rise in billing-related issues. John S., a Legal Shield provider attorney from Texas, identified three primary factors contributing to the surge in inquiries regarding bankruptcies, repossessions, and billing disputes: credit card defaults, intensified collection efforts, and the impact of inflation. Consumers we talk to only have enough money to cover some of their bills, so they prioritize a roof over their head ahead over other expenses. Again, so they prioritize a roof over their head ahead over other expenses, racking up high interest credit cards. John said in a statement, Collectors are turning up the heat after the fill in the blank, and increasing inflation makes what money people do have worthless. It's over. The American dream is fucking over. Now, if you don't have a fucking car, okay, you can't get back to and fro. All right? And this is all designed, this is all engineered from the nobility of Edom, because what do they want to do? Right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 13. And let's start at 16. And he, referring to the nobility of Edom, because ultimately, right, they control this entire system. All right. Hence the international bankers, 13 Edomite families that control everything, that has dominion over the entire earth at this time frame. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a fill in the blank or a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay. Now, when you pay close attention, small and great, rich and poor, all right, we are coming to the point where you will not have a middle class nor an upper middle class. Either you're going to be rich or poor, small or great. Period. Okay? And a lot of so-called rich people will become poor. Free and bond to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. And this prophecy, okay, is breathing, and it's right around the corner in the terms of being mandated. Okay, so let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Let's start at verse 1 from the top. Ecclesiastes 12:1. Don't let the excitement of youth cause you to forget your creator. Right? So our creator has a name, and his name is Yahweh, which means he is. Okay? Yahweh. Okay? Honor him in your youth before you grow old and say, life is not pleasant anymore. So, what precept comes to mind? Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice. Okay, so we present our bodies, we present our youthfulness as a sacrifice to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, right? We are following the footsteps via the Spirit of Yahushua, okay? We are following Yahushua's path. That you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. Right. Because when you think about it, this is our reasonable service. Let's go to Exodus chapter 19, verse 5. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. Addressing the nation of Israel, the only nation that Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua has ever been intimate with. Intimate. Going into becoming familiar with. Okay, he gave us his laws, statutes, and commandments. hence us being the chosen, him being intimate with us. For all the earth is mine, and you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests. Remember, we have a reasonable service, right? Going into presenting our bodies as a living sacrifice. This is our reasonable service, right? Because why? We were designed to be priests and kings anyway. But the focal is on the priest part. And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which you shall speak unto the sons of Israel. Going back into Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 2. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. The keepers of the house is referring to your economists, okay? They are managing the house, hence economy. Economy means to manage the house, right? And the strong men, meaning rich men, shall bow themselves because they will be affected too. When you wipe out the middle class, okay, the rich, the upper middle class will be affected. Okay, because the middle class is the lifeline of the economy. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. No hope. No hope. No motivation to get up in the morning. Okay? The American dream is over. You heard? I don't know why I said that. It's a lot. Verse 4. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, meaning what? Setting your alarm clock extremely early to seek or find employment. And all the daughters of music shall be brought low. All right? So you have millennials losing their cars, because at the end of the day, having a roof over their head is more important. All right? They're trying to save money. And these class of people are living from check to check. And I did, actually, I came across an article last year. 75% of Americans, as of last year, only had $500 in their savings. Now, with inflation, okay, if you are paying grocery, right, for example, I shop at Kroger, right, and 4 years ago, to be exact, that little small buggy at Kroger, a buggy full was no more than $75 to $80. Now that same buggy of food that I get 4 years now, 4 years later, is $115, sometimes $150, right? So it's only going to get worse. And that's the reason why it's very important. Like Micah 2 and 10 say, and this is a Stoic scripture. Arise you and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. See, being Americanized, being westernized will destroy you. Will promote you to get Revelation 13 and 16 inside of you. Okay, so arise you and depart. We cannot have happiness based on external objects such as cars, employment, women, so on and so forth. Because all of that shit is vanity. And it can leave anytime, in any fashion. So if your happiness is based on external objects, then once that shit is gone, your happiness is gone. But if your happiness is coming from within, then therefore, you know, you are your own motivator. You are your own happiness. Never put your happiness outside of something you cannot control. And these American people, right, are waking up from the American dream. Lord, will you edified? Shalom.